Okay, so yesterday we got through the histogram for number 2. Okay, I can't, this is the screenshot, so I can't go like up any farther. So anyways, we're just gonna deal with it. So you have the histogram drawn, all that fun stuff, right? So you should still have your list in your L1 from yesterday.
How do you get back there? You know what, you're gonna tell me, I'm not gonna ask. You'll tell them. Stat,
and then edit, and then you can see that it's still there.
Aha.
Okay, so it says to describe the distribution, okay, shape, center, and spread. Okay, so from your histogram, okay, what did that look like when we graphed that on your calculator?
Thanks.
Okay, so thinking about, okay, unimodal, bimodal, symmetric, uniform, and then is it skewed or?
Not skewed. That's all I know.
Why is it not skewed?
Because it's not going, you know? It doesn't have stuff.
I think
not?
it is skewed.
Maybe it is.
I think it is because it drastically goes boop.
But mine's not it has a right skew. That would, but
Yes.
guys, what's the right?
Okay.
Oh, I see.
It is, in fact, skewed right.
I guess I'm a loser now, guys.
And unimodal, bimodal, uniform, or symmetric?
Unimodal. Sorry, I finally get something.
Alright, so yesterday I showed you guys how to find your 5-number summary. So this is how I'm going to set it up initially, okay, so that we can write in as we go. So we're going to be looking for the median.
Okay, this is not really stupid. Actually, you know what? I can see if I can figure this answer out myself before I get myself. Good, figured it out. All good.
Okay. We will figure out where, okay, the Q1 to Q3 value, which is going to be where most stations charge between, okay, Q1 to Q3. Okay, and we'll write whatever that value is in a second when we find it. The minimum price and the max price. Alright, so on your calculator, I'm going to try to flip over and get this in the video here for a second.
I remember how to find it. Hold on. I'm so proud of myself.
If this ever comes up on selfie mode, I'm done. Alright, how do we find it?
You go to stat, and then you go to calc, and then you go do the first one.
Enter.
And then you go to calculate. And you hit
And then
enter.
you're like, and then you go to the bottom because they're at the bottom. And then you're like, yay! Guys, I think I did it right this time.
Okay, so we're going to fill these values in for what we just set up. So the min is 221, max 246.
Wait, so we go to calc and then do what?
Stat, and then calc, and then the one variable stats. And then just hit
I
enter.
have a really good question. Did we write the dollar signs?
You need them.
Okay, does it go before or after the number? Before, hon. Okay, thanks. I just could not remember that to save my life. I'm so sorry.
I thought you were joking.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm erasing my answer because it wasn't in the right place.
Okay, I'm going to flip back over here in theory. And, oh, good. There we go. All right, so I'm going to fill this in now. All right, so the median was,
2.275.
we're in dollars, so only 2 decimal places, so 2.28. Most stations charge between $2.25
$2.35.
and $2.35.
That's a lot of money.
The min was $2.21 and the max was $2.46. Yeah, tell me about it. I filled my car up the other day, but I had a heart attack. So expensive. And it's more expensive than this right now.
What is the world come to?
Enjoy the fact that you're not driving yet.
Oh, yep, by October, hopefully, if I don't die or don't pass. Well, I'd rather not pass than die, so if one of those scenarios had to happen.
All right, so I'm going to pull back up the graph, okay, to answer this next question. What unusual feature do you see? Do you see any gaps or outliers?
No.
One
Okay.
really tall one.
We talked about yesterday, well, so for an outlier, it's not necessarily going to be that it's tall. It's going to be that it's
By itself. It's
by
but
itself.
Not really. It has no friends.
Okay, so, oh, that was my hand. Ow. All right, so go back to your graph. So assuming you didn't graph anything else in any other classes today, if you just hit the graph button, this will come back up. Okay,
What's the graph button?
The one that says graph.
right here.
I see, thank you.
By the way, if, for example, you needed to graph something like for Miss Marshall, then when you go to do it, you have to turn the stat plot off, okay? So if you were going to do that, you'd go to second stat plot, and then you would click on it, and then you would just hit the off button on it, okay? So obviously you're primarily graphing in my class, but just in case you had to plot something for her, just letting you know. All right, so you don't see any gaps or anything, right?
No.
All right, so remember yesterday I talked about going to your window. Okay, it's the second button here. Okay, and I said that we needed to change some of the values. See how down here it says X and then SCL? Okay, what we need to do is I want you to change that to 0.03. And then I want you to hit the graph button again.
Sorry, can you go up that? Wait,
So hit window.
where's window? Oh, I found window.
And then the third one down, change that X scale
Didn't do anything.
to
Mine
0.03.
has a hole in it. Like a missing
Did I
spot.
do it right?
Does yours look like this?
Whoa,
yes.
what the heck? That's crazy.
Wait. Where's the graph button again?
At the top?
See, I'm not
It
the only
didn't
one.
move. Graph button didn't move. The graph button.
Make fun of me.
Okay, so there is a gap here. That means that no station charged in between, I'm trying to see my numbers, $2.40 and $2.44. Okay? That's what that gap shows you. So if I tell you to change your scale and tell me what's going on here, if there's any gaps, okay, then you can tell me that. Otherwise, just copy it directly off as it is scaled itself.
Wait, how do you know what the numbers are?
Because I looked at the table of numbers and saw where it might actually be 239 because I don't think I actually saw one that was that.
238 and 246.
Yeah. So then,
Yeah, they do. 245.
yeah. Okay. Well, so between 239 is what it should be and 244, there is nothing. So that's why there's a gap. Okay. So let me flip back over here.
So I do have one question. How did changing what technically did we change to make the graph change?
The scale that was on the bottom, the X values.
Okay.
So we told it, instead of breaking it up for every 5 cents, break it up for every 3 cents. Is essentially what happened.
Okay.
So, I don't know why this is. Okay. So, unusual features, okay. We don't really see anything initially, but when we change the scale, or changing the scale to 0.03, we see a gap And the distribution. And that's that no station charged between $2 and I think we decided 39 cents to $2.44 per gallon. Okay, so nobody charged that amount. So does that helping it make sense a little bit more? A little bit. Okay. All right. I don't have a lot of room down here at the very bottom, so in a minute I'm going to write something else, but I'm going to write it over here. Okay, but we're going to do number 3 first, and then we'll do that. All right, so also just FYI, this one is number 6 in your book, if you are interested in knowing that. Okay. All right, so would you expect distributions of these variables to be uniform, unimodal, or bimodal, symmetric or skewed, and explain why? Okay, so let's look at the first one. Ages of people at a Little League game. Okay, so like Little League baseball.
I want to say bimodal.
Okay, why?
Because, well, you're going to have the kids and then their parents.
Okay, so yeah, so that makes sense. So we're going to draw a little picture of it here. Oh, I forgot. Oh, it does do it. Oh, yay. I didn't think it would do it when I was editing a photo.
That was exciting.
All right, so it would be bimodal. And then do we think it's going to be symmetric or skewed?
Symmetric. I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a little skewed.
Wait.
'cause Depending
Oh,
depending
yeah.
on the parental situation, there's usually 2 parents for 1 kid. So then there's gonna
That
be more
is
parents
true.
than kids.
That's true. And then think about a lot of times the little kids will go, "Oh, Grandma, will you please come watch me play baseball?" And then, of course, the grandparents are going to say yes. So you're probably going to have a few grandparents that are out there, too. So it would be skewed right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't have to look perfectly like this, but
Direction it'd be skewed in, though.
because I'm starting over here at younger and working to older.
Wait, so that would mean it would go like this. So wouldn't it be a left skew?
So it's going to be like this, a little gap in the middle, and then it's going to just level out more. I probably have it drawn a little far over. In reality, it probably should be... Probably should have it more like this.
We're drawing that.
Huh?
We're drawing that.
Okay, so that first little hump there accounts for the kids. Second one, more for the parents, okay? And then the one that's farther out, more for the grandparents, okay? Typically, all grandparents don't come to the games. Most of the time, the kids' parents do come, especially with Little League. So that's kind of where we're getting this from. Again, we don't know exactly because we don't know the situation of where they are or anything like that. This is just under normal circumstances, what do you think would be happening, okay, and why?
Wait, so why is it bimodal?
What do you mean?
Like, why?
Because there's that gap in the middle. Because Little League typically is only till like 12 years old.
Okay.
And by the time you're old enough to play Little League, most parents are probably closer to 30. So you've got like probably at least a 15-year age gap.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's obviously always the case because, I mean,
So
a 16-year-old could have had a kid and their kid could be playing. So it could be that weird, which is why we didn't just say, oh, well, there's nobody there in that age range there. But that's what that little dip is for,
that makes sense.
is that, you know, I would say at least at Little League, if all the kids are 12 years old on the team, then all the parents are probably mid-30s at least. Okay, so, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just making up numbers at this point. But you've got that little gap and, like, divot in the middle. and then you've got all the parents, all the kids, which they're both around the same ages for their respective stuff, and then farther out you may have grandparents, or that's also why we start here with this little tiny bit, because, well, what if there's younger siblings there? You know what I mean? So, like, we're just looking at what the bulk of people are, and that's how we got the 2 to make it bimodal in this
That makes
case.
sense.
All right. This here. Oops. That is supposed to be under this question. Somehow the formatting got off.
Mine is like that.
I see.
Ours is correct. Mine is correct.
Oh, well, that's exciting. Okay. Well, let me, because this one is also going to be wrong. That one's going to be over there. Okay. So,
It's also right on our papers too.
I guess it's just because I converted it to a Google Doc, so it didn't keep the formatting all the same. All right. So, the number of siblings of people in your class.
I'd like to say unimodal. Well, never mind. You have older and younger. Wait,
It's not
that
age,
doesn't matter.
it's just number.
That
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
It's just quantity of siblings.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
would be.
unimodal.
I would say unimodal.
Okay, I would agree.
I feel like it might be skewed to the left.
So you're saying it would look like
I feel like it'd be
That.
symmetric.
No, like the opposite. Never mind. I take it back. Skewed to the right.
so you're saying it would be like that.
No. Why can't it just start at the top? Why does it have to start at the bottom?
Well, for one, because there's going to be some people that have no siblings.
True. Well, yeah, more like that. Because
That's
there's
why-
gonna be less people with like 20 siblings than 2.
Okay. And we would say it's probably skewed right. Okay. I mean, if we really thought about our class, does anybody have more than 3 siblings in our class?
Joel.
Joe.
No, she's right.
She has it.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
I would say most probably have, what, 1 or 2?
One.
So probably is leaning towards being skewed right, okay, for our class, but I don't even think nobody has more than 3, so ours would be probably semi-symmetric for the class, but
That's why I was thinking. I'm like, 'cause we only have-
still maybe a little skewed just because there's a lot of people that have none or 1.
Wait, Kara has like 5 siblings.
She does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She says so.
I don't know. She says. Yeah. Is this recording?
Yes.
Dang.
I just didn't know that. That's why I was saying that.
Oh no, she's
Aw.
It slipped.
So I don't understand how to know whether it's skewed or not. Like I'm starting to understand why it would be bimodal and unimodal. I don't understand how to know whether it's skewed or not.
Well, skewed is if all the data goes to like one side or the other.
But why would it go to one side or the other? Like I just don't understand.
Because in this case, how many people in our class have like 10 siblings?
No one.
But what if you did have somebody that had 10 siblings?
Then it would. I don't know. I just don't understand.
Wouldn't it be 5?
Because it's just like everything can't fit in that 1 to 3 siblings. Because there might be somebody that
In
has.
other words,
There might be somebody that has 5.
The x-axis is like how many like siblings someone has, and then the y-axis is like how many people like I guess actually like.
How many people have that or fit in that category?
In other words, so most of the people have probably, judging on that, like 2 or 3, and then once you start getting to like 5, 6, and 7, it's going down.
Well, and you have to think, I'm drawing it as just a curvy line, but really this is representing a histogram. So which would make more sense because you'd be seeing it in the boxes. I just don't want to write all of those out. There's really no point in it for the principle of it. All right. Pulse rates of college-age males.
I feel like it's gonna be
How many times your heart beats in a minute?
Oh.
kind of uniform.
Guys, I'm not having a great day when it comes to my intelligence.
Like I might be wrong, but I have a feeling it's a little uniform. I don't know. Because if you think about
Uniform would mean everybody's is identical.
it, oh no, then bimodal.
No,
I
it's
think
only one.
unimodal.
I would say
I think
unimodal
unimodal.
and skewed to the right, probably.
Because you got some of them with severe anxiety. You got other ones who drink Monsters 3 times a day. Their heart rates are going to be like,
But what about your super athletic that their heart rate's only like 40 beats per minute?
Yeah, so it's bimodal, right?
bimodal?
Unimodal.
I don't know.
I
What
just
is
said
up with the
that.
light? What is the light doing?
That's gonna give me anxiety.
It just that light was out. I swear it was out.
It was that this morning. Oh.
The message in Morse code.
Well, it's not now.
Oh, whoever was sending it just kind of.
Well, I'm glad I didn't tell them to come replace it. They would look at me like I was crazy.
That's true. I would probably laugh.
All right, it's unimodal and it's going to be symmetric.
Why?
Oh, because the majority of people will probably be somewhere in the middle when you have those super athletic and then super.
Because you're going to have your super athletic that their resting heart rate is like 40.
I win.
And then you're going to have your people that Maddie said that drink 3 Monsters a day and their heart rate's through the roof all the time. Okay, they're going to be out here to the right. But most people probably fit in a resting heart rate somewhere between 60 and 80. And so that's why this one's going to be more symmetric.
Okay.
Oh, can I go get the paper? It's in my locker.
I'm gonna have to do lots more examples like this because this is breaking my brain.
Well, good, because one of them will be assigned to you for homework.
Oh.
All right. Number of times each face of a die shows in 100 tosses.
Who's dying?
A dice, 1 through 6.
Oh my gosh.
It's
This
gonna
is
be
not
symmetric. I'm done answering. I don't know. I give up.
Okay, in theory,
It
on
should
a
be
fair
uniform.
dice, if you roll it 6
It
times,
should be uniform.
you should get a 1 how many times?
One.
1. A 2 how many times?
One.
A 3 how many times?
One.
4 how many times?
One.
5 how many times?
One.
6 how many times?
One.
Okay, so they should all be equal. Okay, now, 6 does not go into 100. Okay, not evenly. But it's the principle of it, okay, where we're looking at, in theory, the odds of it coming up again should all be the same. So this one is going to be uniform.
Okay. That kind of makes sense.
Okay, now, on a quiz or a test, if I ask you to do this, I would suggest when you draw it, okay, I would write something like, here's my reasoning for why I wrote it this way. Okay, like for example, I'm just going to pick on you, Maddie, for a second. Okay, with the pulse rates one, she was like, I think it's going to be really skewed because you have those people that drink like tons of energy drinks out there. Okay, write that's why you made it skewed. Because my thought process would not have gone to Monster energy drinks. I would have gone to an athlete that's got a resting heart rate of 40 and then they working out, it's 120. You know what I mean? So like, explain why if you don't think it's something that's relatively common sense, I guess I should say. Okay? Like, there's no need to explain this dice one. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. I meant like you don't need to write down a reason for me on the dice one kind of thing. Okay, actually I'm going to try to write over here on the left. All right, so the last thing for this, if we are skewed right, so I don't think this is in the notes, it might be, but I don't think I put it in there. The mean is greater than the median. If it is skewed left, the mean is less than the median.
Okay, I have another question. How do I know whether it's supposed to be left or right?
where the tail is.
What's the tail?
The stringy part.
So how, like, in a problem, how would I know whether I'm supposed to skew it right or left?
If the hump is on the left or the right of the tail. See where the tail is in relation to the hump.
What
It's
is
on the left,
hump?
it's a left skew.
Bro,
No, I didn't think it was like this.
This is a hump.
No, I understand what the hump is, but like, what information is the hump?
the majority.
The majority of your
So
information.
the majority.
The most common.
So if the majority. Okay, if the tail's on this side, then it's less.
Yes.
If the tail's on that side, then it's more than the hump.
No.
The right or left. I'm not saying more or less.
How do I know if it's on the right or left side of the hump, though? Like, how do I know if it's no, like that?
Okay.
No.
This is your
No,
left.
this-
And this is your right.
This I understand, but if I'm doing one of the questions, like say letter B, how do I know if it's supposed to be skewed to the right versus the left?
Because most people have fewer siblings than more. In other words, Brooke, look at me.
I don't get
Ready?
this.
So the way a graph goes, it's gonna go like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right? So most people are gonna have like 2 or 3. Most people are gonna have like 10.
Okay.
So it's gonna be lower.
So
it's
it's
gonna be slower,
slow.
it's gonna go right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that makes a little more sense, I think.
Because the graph won't go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
I think I'm just gonna skew all the way to the right and hope for the best.
Skewed right if the
I
right
think
side.
that's
Okay, well then,
now you made a
Brooke,
face, now it's
okay,
a good
Brooke.
idea.
Then take it like, what's something that most people would have more of? I don't know, we're just gonna talk about pens, Brooke, okay? How many pens do you have? A lot, right? Most people don't just bring one pen to school, okay? So then do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So if most people don't have a lot of pens, and it's going to be a lot lower here than to the people who bring like 10. Then it's that way. Does that make sense?
But then at some point it's gonna go down again, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's going to go down again, maybe. Yeah, but like.
I don't think stats is my class, guys.
I can teach you. There's a
I'll
middle.
show another in a second.
Okay.
I'll show another one.
Only worry about the middle and the right side. If the middle's higher than the right side, then it's skewed right, unless the left side looks like the right side.
Okay, symmetrical, mean is approximately equal to the median. Okay, that's the other one I just added.
I cannot believe we have a test on Friday. It's gonna be very sad for you guys.
All right. Trying to figure out how I wanted to do this.
Oh wait, you were still recording my explanation to Brooke?
I was.
recording my-
man.
Well, she was recording all my dumb thoughts. So.
Okay, your problems that you would need to do.
Not in it right now.
5, 7, 11, 17, 19, and 47.
A lot of problems. I'm not smart enough to do like
It's
all
40
of
what?
them, guys.
What chapter is this for?
Yeah.
That's not hard. What was the thing you put under skewed
I'm not
right
smart enough to
and
figure this
mean
out.
is greater than median? Is it just skewed
Four.
left? Or is it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Is giving me evil.
47.
I just love the dramatic change between 19 to 47. That would be the outlier. 47.
is the outlier there.
See, we learned.